Welcome to Jewish Inspirational Stories. We're reading from the book Say Thank You and See Miracles by Rav Arush. Words of Consolation. On Lag BaOmer of 5769, 2009, a fatal road accident happened on the way home from Meron. Until 2:30, I was at a funeral of 5 martyrs, 2 adults and 3 children. The next morning, I woke up with a deep sorrow in my heart. I had to work hard to uplift myself from the abyss of sadness. In the months before Lag BaOmer, Hashem had given me the privilege of teaching many lectures about gratitude. My heart always echoes that everything is for the best and that there is no bad in the world. I know nothing and understand nothing. I only believe that everything is for the best. By telling myself this repeatedly, my Emunah and joy return to me. Then I ask myself, what does a person do without words of Emunah to console him? How does he live? How does he function? We see people break down all the time from tests of faith that are not as hard as this one. I resolve to spread and teach Emunah and gratitude with greater vigor. We're humans. We must not deny the pain of our feelings, for they are real. Even if somebody has perfect Emunah, he still feels pain when he suffers an injury. Yet, Emunah gives him the strength to continue in life. I made a condolence call to a young widow. I came to console, but I left consoled. The young widow told me that in her husband's final months, he discovered a treasure, the Garden series of Emunah books. He learned them in depth and wrote notes on all the margins. They had dozens of Emunah CDs in their home, which they listened to all day long. After several months of their learning together, her husband left her to go to his final journey. The widow said, I praise and thank Hashem for everything. If it were not improper, I'd sing and dance as well. My husband prepared me for this. In his last will and testament, he ordered me to thank Hashem for everything. I am honoring my husband's words to the letter. Yes, I am thanking Hashem all the time. He knows what he is doing, and he does only good. Thank you, Hashem. If this courageous young widow cried and complained all the time, would she bring her husband back from the grave? Definitely not. She must continue in life and raise her orphans the best way possible. Crying would only destroy her Emunah. Sure, tears of longing will trickle down her face. That's part of mourning. Yet a mourner should never mourn more than that Jewish law prescribes. For Hashem does only good. According to Emunah, there is no bad in the world, for Hashem does only good. Believing that something is bad is tantamount to heresy. Jewish law considers human nature. Even though Emunah teaches that there is no bad in the world, the Jewish law has respective time periods for crying. For the first 3 days after the loved one departs. For severe mourning, the Shiva period, or the first 7 days. For moderate mourning, the first 30 days. And for a lighter mourning, the first year. One should never be more stringent in mourning than what the code of Jewish law requires. What about the good people who get plucked from the world at a young age? What about the innocent babies and children who suffer terminal diseases? Hashem enabled me to understand that such incomprehensible scenarios are like when a person who arrived late to the theater after the start of the play. The play is almost half over and he sees a male actor on stage yelling at a female actor. The late guy yells out, "Hey, you bully, what are you yelling at the poor defenseless woman for?" Someone from the audience sneers at the late playgoer and sneers, "Will you please be quiet? If you had seen the beginning of the play, you would have understood that the woman is a wicked witch." That's the way things are with people. They make judgments without seeing the whole picture. There are so many details that they are not aware of, but if a person had spiritual eyes, he'd know that Hashem is just and wouldn't have any questions. Since our sight is limited, we must believe that Hashem is doing everything for the very best. He frequently sees how the seemingly bad turns into the good. For example, a person who misses his flight is sorely disappointed. Later, he hears that the plane crashed in midair. Now he realized that the seemingly bad was a gift from Hashem. Naturally, it's not easy to thank Hashem during times of disappointment, when one can't see how everything is for the best. However, this is the time to thank Hashem, for this is Emunah. Thank Him when you miss your bus, your train, your plane, immediately, on the spot, in real time. Don't wait until later when you understand how it was all for the best, because this is simply normal gratitude without any added merit of Emunah. Missing the plane is just one example. There are myriads in life. Once more, myriads of considerations go into a tiny decision that Hashem makes. One tiny divine decision defies the greatest human brain power. The concealed good in many things that Hashem does will not be apparent until Mashiach comes. Meanwhile, we must hold on with Emunah that everything is for the best. Hashem is the only one who sees and knows in depth the path that each person must pursue. Each person's path is full of hardships and obstacles. Emunah is the only way to overcome them. Thanks, and we'll continue tomorrow.